We're live. It says we're live, guys. If you're here, let me know if you can hear us or not. You know we don't know what we're doing. Boys are going to close the blinds because Shawn is washed out there. It was grainy like this last time too, right? Okay. And then it got better. So we're going to hope that the graininess clears up and it gets better. We can turn on the big light too if we need to. Yeah. Can you see us? Can you hear us, guys? Bex is here. Roots and Arrows, Homestead. Hi, Victoria. Oh my. Yeah, we're trying to figure out if you all can see everybody. This little camera squeezing. They can see and hear us. Okay, we're good. Loud and clear. That's awesome. You guys, I've been so nervous. The last one that we did went so well, and I don't know why I'm nervous, but I am. Yeah, we got some outside work done today and thought we'd come inside for the afternoon when it's warmer outside and just kind of hang out with you guys a little bit. So that's the plan. Greetings from Canada, says Susan. That's awesome. Oh, Sherry in the Ozarks too. You guys, I just like seeing all these names that I recognize from all the comments. Grateful Heart, you made it this time. That's awesome. Dolores is from Seattle. I just have so much fun doing this. Oh, I got a noisy chair. Sorry, guys, if I'm noisy. Every time I move, it makes a noise. We did get questions sent in. We do have a few questions. We didn't know how many people would show up and how many questions we would get and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know how long we'll do the whole live stream thing, but we'll go here we'll shoot for 30 minutes and then we'll reevaluate. That's the plan. So Grateful Heart, I'm so glad you made it this time. And Christina. Hi, Christina. Oh, you guys, I'm so excited. Poor Shawn over here. He's okay. I don't know if you guys realize this. I'm the fun one, and he's the serious one. He's here because I set up the live stream. We balance each other well. That's the way it's supposed to work, right? Oh, yes, 710. I just watched them. I just watched 710. Hi, back to Good Off Grid. I just subscribed to your channel too, so go check out Back to Good Off Grid, you guys. And Roots and Arrows Homestead. We're gonna get you going here. There are big things in your future, Victoria. Oh, Christina, yes, I said hi to you. You're my online friend. Oh. All right, do we want to start with questions? Let's just start with questions and we'll see where we go from here. See, one of the questions was about books. And if you notice, my children have picked out their favorite books and their noses are in the books, which is okay. We'll get to the books on one of the other questions later on. So let's see. Now, Nancy, she was the first one to put questions up on our community post, which I've just figured out how to do the community post thing too. So, did Dad and Mom live in the country before marriage? Do you want to go first, Shawn? Yes. Let them know that you can speak.
No. Okay.
He can speak.
I'm going to try to just stay out so when y'all do it, and then I'll come in.
Come in. Okay. Come in here so they can see your face.
So me first.
Yes.
As far as where I lived, basically growing up, well, I grew up in a small town. Okay, I didn't grow up in the country, but I did have experience seeing homestead life on a regular basis. My great-grandparents, who were Native American, and who raised my dad, basically, they lived an extremely simple life.
Can you hear him? Thumbs up or yes. Can you hear him okay?
Can you hear me when I'm talking?
You talk quieter than I do.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really perceive that much of the microphone.
Okay, their thumbs up. You're
Okay,
good.
okay.
You're good. Okay, go on.
So, but my great grandparents, they had what we would now call a homestead. They basically were almost completely self sufficient, lived an extremely simple life. I mean, they died in the early '90s, and even at that time, they still had an outhouse, never had a washer or dryer. You know, I mean, just lived like it was the 1800s. And I saw them just about every weekend of my life. So I was exposed to people who lived a simple life. And where I grew up in Oklahoma was a kind of a poor rural area, and a lot of people lived very simply. So even though I personally didn't grow up on a homestead, I was exposed on a regular basis to that type of lifestyle.
And I grew up on a farm, but it was a commercial farm, a row crop. There were combines and those big, massive tractors and grain bins and all that stuff. So my dad still farms, and we didn't do a garden or anything like that. Maybe when I was a little kid, there was a garden, but not whenever I was old enough to really help with the garden. So, and the animals, again, he had beef cows when I was little, but by the time I was big enough to actually learn stuff and help with stuff, those were gone. But he did plant a huge patch of sweet corn every year, and that would be picked. And I did help mom can sweet corn a little bit, but she primarily froze it. So, yes, I grew up on a farm, but not really what we're doing here. A lot different. So I think Shawn probably actually had more experience living in town, but growing up around his, great grandparents, that he had more experience in the life we're doing now than what I did. So let's see. What's the next one there? No, here we've got how long have you lived on your homestead? That was from Nancy also. She had the second question. Yep, 2009. We moved here in December of 2009. Back in February of 2009, there was this huge ice storm, and we lived in a house in the big town I go shopping in. We lived in an all electric house there, and I had okay. So Samuel would have been he was 3, Sarah was 2, and Andrew would have been December, January. He would have been like 3 months old. And the electricity went out on our house. And I was sitting there with babies taking a nap and a 3-month-old staying warm on my chest. And I did not know how quickly the electricity was going to come back on. And that was really the first time that I went, I don't like being dependent on, I don't know, I didn't like the feeling of how long is our electricity going to be out? We couldn't leave. We didn't have 4-wheel drive or anything that would have gotten us out of there with the ice everywhere. It was a bad ice storm, you guys. People were without electric for 2 weeks. Fortunately, ours came back in, what was it, 2 hours, Shawn? I think 2 hours is when our electricity came back on. But that was my first, I don't like this. And we started really looking for places where we could be more self-sufficient. The thing we absolutely needed was a wood stove, because mama was not going to be in her house that was getting cold with little bitty babies anymore. Cynthia's on here. Hi, Cynthia. And I saw Jess too. I waved hi to you while Shawn was talking, but I didn't want to interrupt because that's rude, right? So I waved. So that was February, I believe, 2009. And we started looking at houses, not intending to move. We were just looking, let's see what's out there. And we ended up finding this one, and we moved, and it was fast. And I do intend to do a whole video on our homesteading story because Jess has specifically asked for one, and I think it's a great idea. So I won't say all of it now, but that should be in the works. So December 2009, Nancy, that's whenever we moved out here. Let's see. We need one of those fancy wood stoves once our house gets built. Yeah, back to good. I love ours. Our house is an earth berm house, and we 100% heat our home with this wood stove. that's there in the dining room during the winter. And we get dump truck loads of these are big cubes of wood that come from the sawmills around here. And we pay, do you remember, Shawn, how much we pay? A little over $100 for a dump truck load. And we can get 2 winters worth of heat out of that. So we can heat our entire house for about $50 for the entire winter. And it's a warm heat. If you guys have had experience with wood heat, it wraps around you and it's warm and it makes you feel great. I don't know, the central heat is just, it's not the same. I don't know. So, okay, let's see. I so love that being self-sufficient. This is Ozark. Yeah, I like it. Oh, hi, Nancy. You're here. Yep, you were the first one to ask questions. So you got to be number 1. Let's see. Then Stacy, she asked, what activities do you all enjoy off the homestead? That's the tricky word there, is off the homestead. And this question here, this prompted a whole conversation amongst our family. So we've been talking about this for 2 days now because we do a lot on the homestead. A lot of our extracurriculars are here. So if we want to go fishing, it's here. If the kids want to sleep in a tent, it's here. If they want to go target shooting, they do that here. If they want to do archery, they do that here. We do have people over quite often, so entertaining family, friends, and stuff, that's here. But we did come up with some things that we do off the homestead. So let's see. Softball. We had, yeah. Well, that's sporadic. That's with homeschool friends. We don't do it like practice every Tuesday or things like that. No, this is just informal homeschool friends that like to get together and play softball together just for fun, just to learn the sport. We do that away from the homestead. And did we come up with anything else? Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can scoot in here and talk too.
I mean, we just visit with family when we have, when we have the time to go and, on the weekend and go see family within a fairly short drive. I don't know. Define that, but we can get there within a day. We don't have to spend the night.
Yeah, it's still hours away, but yeah, we can make it a day trip, and we do that fairly regularly, seeing family. We have a pretty large, extensive family, so it's a real good, fun time whenever we all get together. So, but that's really.
Yeah, I mean, really, people pay money to go to places that have what we have. Really, yeah. Like an adventure camp or whatever, or church camps and things like that. I mean, it's our everyday life. So there's a lot of things that we just take for granted. The kids growing up here, I don't think they really understand how blessed they are. We don't have to load up and go hours away to go to the woods or water or see animals or whatever. We have it right here.
We have a zip line. For a while there, when our homeschool co-op was smaller, they would come here, and I mean, I think we had more playground equipment here than what the local park had there. We've got the climbing dome and the playland and the slide and the teeter-totter and all that stuff. So
the park has since updated, but they still don't have a zip line.
The park is updated, but they don't have a zip line. We still got them beat. All right. So let's see. Jessica. Hi, Jessica. What is each family member's favorite book? The children were very glad that you asked this, and some of them had a lot of trouble. Sarah had a lot of trouble. Sam too. We love books. I don't know if you guys can tell. This is just our history section. This big bookshelf back behind me. I mean, we have. Well, our last inventory was years ago, and we had over 2,000 books then. I have no clue how many books we have at this point. We may have doubled it, he says. I don't know, but Jessica, we'll go through and we'll tell you our favorite books. So we want to start with Abigail. You want to come here and show everybody your favorite book? Come around by Daddy. Seeds and Trees. Oh, it's backwards in the camera. Seeds and Trees by Brandon Walden, it said. So, and you had gotten this one from the library. Yeah. Why did you like it?
Because we talked about all these things in these trees, and like these bad trees, when the school fights them all off.
Oh, it was a good story. It's got cute illustrations in it too. So this was Abigail's pick. Anna, you want to come show your favorite? Miss Jess was asking about yours. You going to come around by Daddy? Oh yeah. You've got to explain some with this one.
The Wing Feather Saga.
The wing. What else do I say? She says, what else do I say?
Go to the back.
Without me is Janice and Lily, and
They go on adventures.
kind of.
This is the second book. A friend has borrowed the first book. How many are in the series? How many books? 4 books. And they're making is it an animated TV series?
Animated TV series.
And the children really like that too. But awesome series, The Wing Feather Saga by Andrew Peterson. That's a good pick. David, you want to bring yours up here? Or just, can you show it from back there even? Just lean over the couch. There you go. The War That Saved My Life by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley. You want to tell them? Why do you like this book, David? Yeah. Stay right. Oh.
What's the war? World War II.
You like that one? Yeah.
Okay. It's about a little girl in World War II trying to find hope.
Yes. Very good book. Mama has read this one and I really enjoyed it too. And there is a sequel to it also. So this homeschool family recommends these. We love that historical fiction. Andrew John, you're next. Come on down. Yeah, your book. You show them, Rebecca. This book. Okay.
So,
Yep. See, they chopped off your head. There you go.
so, this is the book thief.
Yeah, it's backwards. It's The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak.
Oh, it's about a girl in World War II again. But she's German. So it's different. It's like kind of the opposite of David's. You know, in a sense.
It's the opposite of David's. It's from the German side. Yes.
It really gives a good picture of what a German child might have thought back in that day.
So Penny says hi, Andrew, and everyone else. Hi, Penny. Everybody wave hi to Penny. Woo! Hi, Penny. She says, all right. Oh, and there's a movie too. The Book Thief has been turned into a movie.
It's a beautiful movie too.
I think Penny likes that movie. I think we've already had this discussion. Yeah. Okay, Sarah.
This will need some explaining. So, I could not find a book on the fiction shelf that I can label as my favorite. I have like 100 of them that are my favorite. So, David said, well, why don't you just say that book about the guy who slept in the Taj Mahal when he wasn't supposed to? I was like, yeah, I love that book. We're going to go ahead and do that one. So this is The Royal Road to Romance by Richard Halliburton. It's not a romance book.
It's Sarah, you got to tell them you're not reading romance books.
No. Okay, so Richard Halliburton was a real life person back in the early 1900s, and he was basically a world traveler. Something that I would do if I had the time for it. I would love to go do Richard Halliburton's life.
And you weren't 16.
Yeah. No, he was 20 when he went off.
Okay.
I'm 4 years away. But he basically spent his whole life traveling the world, doing these adventures, and he wrote books about it, and his books are so good, and they are hilarious because he tells it like he's just talking to you, and really, well, it's kind of sad, but the really cool thing about Richard Halliburton is that he actually disappeared during one of his adventures, and it was kind of like a Amelia Earhart situation. It's really, really cool, but. This is his first book, The Royal Road to Romance. We have 2 other of his books, but I think this one's my favorite.
And Grateful Heart wants to know how long you've been making homemade bread. You remember?
About 2 years now, ever since I got that cavity and started making my own bread.
Okay. Yep. Sarah had gotten a cavity and decided to try to heal it ourselves.
Didn't work, but
she ended up with the filling. See, I told them that I had one child that had to get a filling, but I didn't tell them who it was. You just now outed yourself. Now you all know it was this one. She tried to heal it by changing her diet and things like that. And one of those things was removing the white flour and stuff. And she switched to sourdough. So that was your turning point.
Yes. I'm not going back.
Even though the cavity's been filled and it's done, she eats no sugar. She eats a very pure and holy diet.
As close as I can get.
Oh, yeah, and Christina is telling all the children hi as you come up here, guys. All right, Samuel. Samuel has a very serious book because he's a very serious guy.
You're going to like that.
Yeah, don't cut off your head.
Sorry. This is Imponderables. It's backwards.
Well, let's see. Back to Good says it's not backwards for them.
Oh,
it just looks backwards for us. So we're good.
It's basically a book where they answer all the questions that some people have about how things work, like why are there 88 keys on a piano, why do dogs have black lips, why is the Peanuts comic strip called Peanuts, questions like that. And it basically answers those questions. It's a pretty neat book.
All right. Good deal. Yeah. Yes, that was a good question. It was right up our alley. So Christina says that is a brilliant choice, Samuel.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Now I picked out a book too, but mine's a little kid's book. It's Understood Betsy. Yeah, you like all the books, baby. Okay, I read this one to my younger children for school, and I love it. I cry every time I read it with every child, and it doesn't matter. It is a sweet little girl that grows up in town, and she gets sent to live with family out in the country, and how it impacts her life, being able to live in the country. You know that's right up my alley, right, you guys? This child just flourishes being out there with animals amongst nature and learning skills. So the mama loves this one. Now Shawn picked out one too. Last one, and then we'll go on to other stuff. Last one.
Okay, the book that I picked was 1 Second After. William Portion. I think is how we pronounce this. We're not sure. Because I haven't actually heard his name spoken. I've only seen it written. There's actually 3 of these books currently, and Sarah said he's working on a 4th one right now.
I don't know if it's
So it's 1 second after, then 1 year after,
then the
final day, and apparently it's not the final day because they're doing a 4th one. So, but basically, in the premise of the book is, the guy who wrote this book is a history professor, and so in the character in the book is a history professor, so it's sort of like him, but he writes it like, and it's also based on a small town in North Carolina where he lives. So it's kind of based on his life. But in the book, there is what they call an EMP, electromagnetic pulse, that knocks out the power grid, and of course that leads to one thing after the other, where the whole entire system collapses. So this community, kind of based around this small little college and this small little town, has to learn how to survive and how to reestablish life without the normal things that we're accustomed to. So it's a book, especially as a homesteader, it makes you think, well, about self-sufficiency and community and working together and because it wouldn't have to be the type of scenario here, but anything that's challenging in your community, how can people work together, help one another, and so there's just a lot to learn from the book. It's really cool.
He's holding my hand down here in case you don't know. He comes over here and snuggles up to me and then he holds my hand. Okay, that was a good one, Jess. I'm glad you asked that. Okay. Ooh, each person's favorite part of the farm. Okay, you guys be thinking about that. Each person's favorite part of the farm. I'm gonna do a little, what's it called here? Where I interrupt
Maybe it's
the flow here a little bit. Oh, it's a sponsor spot, maybe. Is that what we call it? A little commercial. Okay. So right before we started our live stream, I was watching. There's another channel that I've gotten to know from the other YouTube channel. There's Facebook pages for people like that. And I've met this other family on there, and they go live also. And I was watching their channel, and it was lovely, and I enjoy sitting in with them. And they said, "Hey, we just talked about you guys on our live, and you missed it." And I was like, "What? You did that?" So I am going to throw them out there, and you guys just smother them with likes and subscribes and love and all the good things that you can. 7 Kin Homestead. Go love on them. Go love on them big. Now, they're a large family too. They have 5 children, and they're living off grid. Here I am with my big old light shining up here. They're off grid, and they're in Northern California. I jotted notes on here so I don't forget. Okay, a homeschooling family, 5 children in Northern California doing the whole off-grid thing. And they're a lot more technically talented. I don't know the right words than we are. We're pretty basic here, but they have good stuff. And so go check them out and tell them Ozark Family Homestead loves them. We're planning, we're going to do a live stream together, their family and our family. We're just trying to get all the dates and times and all that stuff figured out. So, all right. Jess says, my husband has read The Book Thief and he really enjoyed it. Samuel, I had a similar book growing up called How Come? And you might like it. So, all right. And 7 Kin Media also. Okay, okay. I'm just familiar with the 7 Kin Homestead aspect of it, but 7 Kin Media as well. All right. What are you cooking tonight? Ooh, grateful heart. Okay, I'm taking it easy tonight. This is my easy meal. So I have a whole big, it's 4 packages of just chicken wings. See that light, that on-grid light right there keeps flashing. If it becomes a bother, we'll just turn it off, guys. Okay. Big things of chicken wings. I'm going to put them in glass Pyrex dishes and roast them, bake them in the oven. What sides am I making with that? I've got my handy dandy planner right here. And if I don't look, I won't know. So chicken wings, broccoli, and potatoes. That's what's on the menu for tonight, Grateful Heart. That's an easy meal for me. So, hi, Sylvia from Ireland. You've seen Sylvia on there too. She comments faithfully. Hi, Sylvia. You learned about their media channel today on their live. Okay, that's why I don't know about it, because I got there late, I guess. So, okay. What was you all were to be thinking about your favorite part of the farm? Does anybody have an answer? Abigail, here. Abigail, you want to come first? Just pop over the couch here so where everybody can see you. What's your favorite part of our farm? Working on the farm. High five. Working hard and sweating. Really? Truly? You like that better than ducks?
You want to know why she likes working? She has ice cream afterwards.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I keep ice cream in the freezer, and when she works hard and she sweats, Mama takes pity on her and says, "Ooh, you can have an ice cream this afternoon." So, okay. Okay, Victoria, let's see here. I did not see this before in the comments. Prayers for her twins. She has boy-girl twins. They're almost 2 years old and have a bad case of the chicken pox. Oh, goodness. All right. Prayers for the twins, guys. Let's remember that. Okay, we can do that. Let's see. Having Frank's chicken, California veggies, and taters. Awesome. Yeah, I still have to finish up. Sundays is when I make up my to-do list and our menu for the. So that's that noisy 2-year-old that you guys hear in the back of my videos.
I'm trying to keep it quiet. It's not working.
It's not working.
Maybe you're louder.
Did anybody else have an answer? What's your favorite part? Anna, you want to come around here and tell us, what is your favorite part of our farm?
The cat.
The cats, yeah. Anna's in charge of feeding our cats. They get milk from Daisy the cow every morning and a little bit of cat food. And Abigail goes to help you. And Rebecca goes to help now too. She wants to go help the meow meows. So, all right. Anybody else?
I did.
Okay, Sarah.
You want Sam to go first?
Sam, do you want to go first?
Oh, my favorite part of the farm is the goats.
You like the goats? Why do you like the goats?
Well, because they're very entertaining animals.
They are. They are. I asked that because Sam is not, he's our chicken guy. He's in charge of the chickens. Maybe we should put you in charge of the goats instead of the.
No.
Okay.
She
says no.
That's me.
She says no.
Ducks are number 2, by the way. It's close.
Okay. Oh, Christina, you'll have to catch up on the rest of it later on after it posts. I know you guys are much later. I think it's 6 hours ahead of us. Ahead of us over there. So good night, Christina. Everybody tell Christina good night. Good night, Christina. Okay, Sarah, you had a favorite part.
I like the whole learning aspect that I get from the homestead. I like that every day I learn something else. There's something new that I'm doing. And I like that it's I feel okay, this is I don't know, poetic or something. I don't know. I feel like it's preparing me more for when I have a place of my own. I want the whole big homestead farm and the large family. I want 12 kids and like everything. So I feel like living on the homestead is really preparing me for my dream future life almost. Like I want to have the pantry that's full of everything that I can that I've grown. So when I pan stuff that I have harvested out of the garden or just gathered out in the pasture, I feel like that's one step closer to my dream pantry one of these days.
All right. Yep. Sarah's passionate about homesteading, and I love that. I love it. Is there anybody else? Andrew does. All right, Andrew John.
I'd say that my favorite part of homestead or the farm would probably be maybe the woods.
Oh, because what are you doing in the woods?
Yeah.
He's building a tree house. Yeah. If you can't find Andrew, he's in the woods working on his tree house. Yeah. And he's good at it. So you do like working in the and you like potatoes, so you gotta help grow the potatoes. All right. My favorite part is when we sit down at the table and we have our food on our plate, whether it's our lamb or our chicken. You like puppies? Yeah. You know what, baby? The puppies. Okay. Rebecca likes the puppies. We don't have, well, Pepper is kind of a puppy, but I like, our meat, our green beans, our potatoes. I like seeing that. That's just a huge feeling of satisfaction for me to see this is our food that we grew on our farm. So let's see. Do you have anything?
Well, when I was thinking part of the homestead. My first thought was, I guess, geographically speaking, when I was thinking part like the physical, physically, the actual property itself. And on the back side of our property, we have a spring, and we call it the deep spring. And that part of the property is not developed, so to speak. There's no structures back there. Everything's pretty much like it would have been hundreds of years ago. So it's really neat to go back there and just think, what the property looked like hundreds of years ago. And when you're on that side of the property, you kind of get a feel for it because there's really nothing there. And so it's really just like it would have been in the past. And you just wonder how, who all has used that spring. If I could go back in time 200 years ago, would I see Native Americans using this spring? Would I see, just to me, that the history that's there, if that part of the property could talk, what stories could it tell you?
We haven't shown them the deep spring yet. You haven't seen that yet. It's really cool. It goes, it's like a perfect circle and goes straight down, and the circle is lined with stones, like it was set up as a well, but it is a spring that comes up. So we'll get to that at some point. That was a good answer. Okay, let's see. Do the boys, okay, Sherry in the Ozarks. I know you're into all the grocery savings too, like Mama is. Do the boys take any interest in grocery shopping and price comparison?
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't.
Crickets. That's enough. See, they just like to eat the food. They do. They help unload the big van when I come home with it loaded full of Mama's good deals. They help unload. But yeah, I don't think they're not into it. But let's see. Jess says, that's my favorite part too. Your answer about the farm. Your intuition is correct. This lifestyle is the best preparation possible for your future. And Sylvia, well done, Sarah. Great answer and visualization. All right. It's like taking a step back in time, talking about the deep spring there, Shawn. Okay. Yeah, I can't wait to see that spring. Yeah, I need to go out there and film it. If we get a big stick and we push it down into that spring, you see there's leaves and stuff that's just down in the bottom of it. You can take that long stick and just feed it down in there. We don't know how deep it is because the long stick just goes, and when you pull it out, bubbles and stuff will just come up to the top of the spring, and it's really, really super cool. So the previous homeowner that we bought the property from said that, was it his grandparents? Okay. He was in his late 60s when we bought the property, and he said his grandparents would somehow take their milk jars from their milking cow and lower it down into that spring to stay cold. In a jars in a basket or something is what he said. So yeah, it's cold all the time, and it's a really neat thing to have on the property. Again, that ice storm in 2009 made me think all kinds of things. So I like having that always cold, deep spring. So, Sarah, yep, new garden tour coming soon. I have it penciled in. I've already started working on my to-do list. I've got my planner right over here beside me on a TV tray, and I've been writing things down. We have a strawberry jam video coming out this week, a day in the life video coming out this week. It was supposed to be a slow day after our YouTube party because we were all tired, and it ended up being a very productive day. So that's coming out, and then I have scheduled to film a tour our garden in May, what's growing on the property in May. I'm wanting to record that, I think, on Thursday. So it is in the works, Victoria. We're getting to it. I know, and I meant to do it earlier too. So, do you guys ever collect water from the spring? Or do you have a well? We do have a well. We are on a well. And we have awesome water. Where the previous homeowner would come here for like a month or so after they sold the property to us, and he would come fill up jugs of water just because we have really good water. So we have never collected anything from the deep spring. It is a little ways from our house. You have to walk out there to get to it, and the idea of carrying the water back isn't. If we had to, we would, but if we don't want to.
Oh, and the one long rope. We wouldn't need a long rope. It goes all the way to the surface. The spring comes all the way to the top, so the water's at ground.
I think she's talking about. They're talking about finding the bottom. Is that what that would be for?
Oh, I thought she meant how they kept the milk going.
Oh, okay. Well, I would like to know how deep it is, though. Yep, Sherry in the Ozarks. I know you do all these sales here. Checking out Dollar General's Memorial Day sale today. Yeah, I don't get in there that often, but I should maybe start checking them out because I think you find some good deals there. Some of the school items are 90% off. Yeah, that's a good deal. Yeah, see, they were thinking of a way to see how deep.
We have walkie-talkie. We can throw a kid in there with a walkie-talkie.
Keep swimming. Oh, cost me £5 for one sweet baby rays. And Sherry says they're 2 for $3 at Dollar General. So yeah, that's a savings. Let's see. Okay, Jess, you asked this next question, and this is a hard one because I want to give you a great, lovely, wholesome answer, and I can't. So here's the question. Okay, how do you battle tiredness or feeling overwhelmed with small children? So I want to just be, good mama and say, I just snuggle my babies and we pray for guidance, and I'm going to give you an honest answer, okay? I check out and I will probably scroll Facebook for a little bit just to get my brain space where it needs to be, I guess. And I feel like I can regroup and then get back in the trenches again. So that's my for real, sorry, I know I should be better answer, but that's the way it is. Now, if I'm just tired, okay, sleep is one of those things where if I don't get enough sleep, I don't function well. It's bad. So if we get to bed super late, we will sleep in the next day. What is she getting? Rebecca's running around with somebody's boots on. So yeah, I need sleep. That is a priority for me. And if I'm having a tough day, I will check out for a few minutes, regroup, and then jump back in again. Let's see. Sarah, what is left for you to plant?
I have not gotten any pumpkins in the ground. I need to replant some of the squash that has not come up. I need to put all the melons into the ground.
You have them started, but
yes,
they're not.
I have them started. I need to put sweet corn, and I have not started any of that. And popcorn. Let me see. I need to get my eggplant into the ground. I need to finish up that tomato. So halfway through tomatoes, and then I got an awful sunburn, and I didn't want to get the sunburn worse, so I stopped on the tomatoes, and those tomatoes really need to get to the ground.
Her sunburn blistered and peeled, and she was twitchy because she couldn't be outside because it kept hurting.
I was going outside after supper just to make myself feel better.
Yeah, she went outside in the dark to work in the garden because she couldn't in the daytime. So.
A little bit more sweet potatoes, the slips that have roots that I need to put into the ground. Some herbs still that I have started that I haven't gotten to the ground
You've
yet.
got rosemary. You've got one of the winter sowing jugs left, right? With rosemary
Yes,
in it.
but it doesn't look like rosemary, so then it's just a weed. Yeah, I know. I got the lavender planted.
Okay. Okay. So there's a lot still to go. I feel like, okay, I was just thinking about this. I feel like May is just crazy, super busy for us. That between, well, Shawn has, you get busy at work in May, really busy with stuff, school stuff, graduation ceremonies. Of course, the garden amps up too. But this is our first week. Again, I was doing the to-do list, making it up over here before we started. This week, I'm switching over to our summer schedule, to where we are going to be doing eat breakfast, do animal chores, and then go out into the garden in the morning. Normally, we would do some school at that time, but we're going to flip-flop it. We're going to do garden work, outside work in the morning, come in, eat lunch, then do schoolwork for several hours in the afternoon during the hottest part of the day. So this is the week I'm switching over to that, and these mornings this week are going to be us heavy in the garden. We've got weeds to tackle. It's getting out of hand, so we've got to get serious about it and get stuff done. So, transitioning. Oh, hi, Doris. Just heard about you from 710 Homestead. Just joined. Love having like-minded friends. Yeah, I was so giddy whenever they said, we featured you on our live stream and you missed it. So we did. We went back and watched it. We only had like 10 minutes between theirs ending and ours starting. And I was like, I want to see it so bad. So we hurried up and we fast forwarded to the part so we could see it. And it was so neat. It makes us feel special. They're good people. So, okay, let's see. Now, did we have, I think that was the last question that was on the comments here. So, did you guys have any more questions? Or are we getting to that point? I know my ladies over in England are super sleepy. It's a lot later over there than it is here. So we wrote down a few questions even just in case nobody came to our party and we didn't know what to do. So let's see. Oh, what's coming in from the garden right now? I thought maybe Sarah could say, what are you bringing in?
Peas. The peas have now finally started to produce. They look beautiful. So I'm bringing in a little basket of them. I'm getting asparagus now, and let me see. I thought there's one other thing.
We don't have strawberries because our plants are young. We had to replant everything this year.
We have one that's like about that big.
Yeah.
It's green.
And we don't have blueberries yet. We don't have blackberries.
We had one about to turn. It had a purple spot on it, and the birds got it. So
yeah. So
might be what's coming in right now. Of course, I have herbs that I'm harvesting off of. If we have lost my train of thought. If we have food that needs
yeah. You brought in parsley. We had buttered potatoes the other night with supper, and we put some fresh parsley in there on that.
And I've done fresh cilantro in
guacamole. Yeah, the cilantro's starting to bolt though. So
I'll have seeds in that.
We did get Nancy has another question here. What are the kids' favorite summertime treats? Abigail, you want to come over here?
Does that mean from the farm?
Ice cream.
Ice cream, she says. Okay, I keep ice cream bars in the freezer, ice cream sandwiches, and they get those as treats if they're working hard outside. And then since we got Daisy the Jersey cow, we have lots of milk. And do you guys remember those Jell-O pudding pops? When I was a kid, I loved those Jell-O pudding pops. And Sarah makes basically chocolate pudding pops from our cow's milk. And so those are in the freezer also. So Rebecca's eating a pea. She found one of the pea pods up on the counter in there. Okay, Jess, how does the family resolve conflicts or differences in ideas or how to do things?
We fight to the death. No. We don't.
That's funny. Oh, I don't know.
In
Yeah.
a lot of ways, we just keep adding things instead of doing something else. Really, for the last few years, we just kind of add more things. If someone's got an idea, I'd like to do this. It's not necessarily that at the expense of something else.
You mean like how? You mean how to do things like on the homestead is what you're talking about? We're adding more things.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm saying if someone says, "Hey, I'd like to plant this or add this," we don't necessarily. It doesn't mean it costs someone else something. We just add, it's an additional thing.
Well, if we're talking about stuff on the homestead, it's typically, the person with the idea that's passionate about the thing is going to be the one in charge of the thing. This year, Sam expressed interest in peanuts, like growing peanuts. And so he's going to be the peanut guy this year. We're not going to really have the other children take on those roles, but it's going to be his thing. So let's see. Someone on another live had a great idea about hanging buckets or cans in trees or space-saving ideas. I thought hanging strawberries would look really cool in a tree. That would be.
Have you ever showed the towers?
The green stalk towers, they've been in videos just in passing, I think.
In the garden tour we showed.
We did in the April garden tour. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've got those green stalks, and they save space too. We've got onions growing in 2 of them, and strawberries with some greens growing in the other 2.
The greens are bolted.
The greens are bolted. So, yeah. Roots and Arrows Homestead. Have you ever worried about the kids having friends outside the family since you are a homeschooling family and you all mostly stay home?
Well,
and have we homeschooled since day one? That's easy. Yes, we have homeschooled since day one.
But there's so many homeschoolers in this area. I think in the Ozarks, it's perhaps more popular than most other places. And there's so many homeschool families that we know, and so many large families that we know, that it's the kids frequently interact with other homeschool families and large families. Even the thing with the large families is the age differences kind of match up with the age differences in our kids. So like everybody has people that are within their age range. I mean, really, when there's several homeschool families over here, I mean, we're as big as some small town schools. I mean, really. I mean, there's they have an abundance of kids in.
Yeah. At our YouTube party, that most recent video that we did, we had, I think it was 32 children here, and 4 of them were not homeschooled. All the rest were homeschooled there. So, and you have cousins. You guys have cousins that are homeschooled also. So it's, I don't know, it's common for us. I do try once a month. We do have a local homeschool co-op with all kinds of families. You eating those peas? Yeah, it's good stuff. And I try to arrange a gathering just at our local little town park once a month, so all the kids can get together, all the homeschool kids get together. And those are large families, small families. It's a nice big group, and they just play at the park and have a good time. So, okay, it sounds like you guys make space for each other to spearhead projects. Yeah, if someone's passionate about something, I think they are the best person to get the job done. So have at it. Get going on it. I'll buy you the things you need to do it, and then you put forth the effort and you do it. So the only garden we have so far is a garden tower the kids made for a school project. That'll work. When we lived back in 2009, when we lived in the big town, I had 2 square foot garden boxes, and that's what we had. So that's where we started. I didn't wake up until 2019. Back to good off grid says. That's when I started homeschooling, but the kids are still adjusting a bit to it. We've had many lifestyle changes. Yeah, I think my children, they don't know any different. So, Shawn, you went to public school, I went to private school, and we can tell them stories about what it was like, and they can see the school bus, go by with the public school children on it, but they really don't have their own experiences to compare, going to a school building to. So
that's the other nice thing about living in this area. There's so many homeschool families. It's not unusual because I know online you see people that'll say that a lot of people don't homeschool, where they live, and that's one thing we're blessed here. But it's very common, extremely common that the homeschool. So there's so many homeschool families that you have so many people that you interact with, and no one thinks it's unusual. Some places have that issue.
Rebecca just came in and said, "Me eat it all." It's all gone.
Oh, there are some.
Did you eat it all? Yep, you got a balloon now. Let's see. I'm still trying to convince my husband to get on board with the homeschooling idea. Well, with your oldest only being 4, you've got time. So we here in the Missouri Ozarks, we do not have to formally school until the age of 7. And I don't formally homeschool until they turn 7. So I feel like just our lifestyle, we have a learning lifestyle with being outside and the animals and the garden and cooking from scratch. You're getting tickled over Rebecca back there. She's being silly. And I just feel like we have a learning lifestyle. Even if we watch things on TV, it's usually a history program or a science program or something like that. Or if we do something for fun, it's Andy Griffith or Little House on the Prairie. I feel like we don't do a lot of brain neutral or brain numbing things around here. So they are learning even when they're younger.
When you said TV, it's all tapes. I mean, it's DVD.
Yeah. We don't have TV channels here. We have DVDs. We have YouTube. We don't have Netflix or anything like that. So let's see. Yeah, back to good off grid. It took years to convince husband also. The area we moved to has many homesteaders and homeschoolers, so we're new but plan to get involved. Yeah, I would encourage that. Nancy, which homeschool curriculum do you use? I'll do a video on that too, but I'll give you the short answer. Okay, Ambleside Online is a Charlotte Mason style curriculum that uses lots of books, and we love books. So we like that, but we have merged it with another curriculum called the Robinson curriculum, which has children be more independent in their learning, less needy on the mama than what Ambleside Online is. So I've tweaked both of them a little bit and merged them together, and that's what's working for our family is the Ambleside Online with the Robinson curriculum together. So as far as math, we use Life of Fred. We really like Life of Fred. Teaching textbooks, and we even have some Saxon math that we use as well. So a lot of it depends on the child, what they like the most, and we just kind of play it by ear. Grateful Heart loves Little House on the Prairie. We do too. We own the DVD set, and that and Andy Griffith is pretty much what we watch in the evenings if we sit down for family TV time. It'll be one of those two. Kathy says hello from the Brotherly of Missouri. A new subscriber. Yay, Kathy. I'm glad to have you here. I get so excited over new subscribers. Oh, from the Boot Hill of Missouri. Hi, Kathy. Can't wait to see that episode. Yeah, I plan on going through what we've used and why we changed and all that stuff on the homeschool episode. So it's amazing how many choices there are for the curriculums. Yeah, it's overwhelming. And what we started with is not what we've ended up with. We have changed so many things. I will say the one that we have stuck with from the beginning is our handwriting curriculum. We've never changed it. and it's handwriting without tears. That's what one thing that we have not changed on all that. So I use multiple sources and would love to check out those you mentioned. The neat thing about Ambleside Online is it is free. You can get online right now. Ambleside Online, is it .org? I believe. I don't think it's .com. It might be. I think it's .org, and it has the week 1 of year 1, and it lists everything that you do. Week 2, and you can go all the way through 12 years of schooling, and it's just there online. Print it up, use it. Now you have to access the books, so you will have to purchase or borrow from the library the books for that. But it's very rich, classical music and art and folk songs, and we love it. We listen to the folk songs and the classical music on YouTube playlists as we're doing cleaning hour at the end of the week. We turn it on speakers, and I don't know, my children love classical music, and we'll be in the van driving down the road, and they'll be singing all the folk songs. Even Rebecca, a little 2-year-old, she's picked them up. So it's a lot of fun. And as my students age out, Samuel's going to be full-time college student. Rebecca might be full-time Ambleside Online. I might be able to actually handle it with just Rebecca, but there were just too many balls to juggle there with so many students and the Homestead and all the things. I had to change things up. So let's see. Hi from Jamaica. Oh my goodness. See, this is just so wild that we get people from all over the world watching our little hillbilly family, you guys. Hi from the Missouri Ozarks, Donna. It's Ambleside, which my understanding is a town in England. Does that sound right, Sarah?
It's English based.
Yeah, it is a British-based curriculum. Ambleside Online. It is .org. Shawn just looked it up. AmblesideOnline.org. And then the other one that we've meshed it with that is more independent is the Robinson curriculum. All right, we went over an hour, you guys. This is wild. So I think I've got children leaving. Have they all gone off in the bedrooms to play?
Just the youngest.
Just the younger ones. We lost the younger ones, guys. It's just Sam, Sarah, and Andrew. Oh, David! He's like a little ninja back there hiding. Okay, guys, we enjoyed the live stream. I think we're going to get back to work and do some more. I have to finish up that to-do list and menu, and you've got more outside things to do. So I don't know, Shawn, what have you been? You let goats out. He tethered goats all around the garden area and stuff today. That was something new. But yeah, we've still got daylight here. So we're going to go ahead and get some things done this evening and have our supper and start fresh tomorrow. So thank you guys for joining the live stream today. I'm getting more comfortable with this. I can do this. So, all right, guys, we will see you guys next time. It was pleasant to meet your family. I hope to see more and more of you back to good. I'll be stalking your older videos soon. That's an okay kind of stalking. I allow that. That's good. So, goodbye, Grateful Heart. I'm so glad you made it to this one. We'll see you guys later. I'm going to hit this big red button down here that says end stream. Bye, guys.